The case study is college football. Competition time is in season. Part one program design considerations for a speed and agility training program. Movement of sport, you can break it down to player position, energy system utilized, sport game length, and sport season. Now, in talking about the movement of the sport of football, football requires multi directional movement patterns in explosiveness and power, pushing, sprinting, backpedaling, lateral shuffling, lateral running, cross stepping. Definitely a good mix of movements. Therefore, body control is essential. Pertaining to the energy system in football, football requires a high amount of the phosphagen system in addition to a moderate usage of the glycolytic system. The length of a game is typically 60 minutes, broken down into four quarters of 15 minutes. Now we know that including timeouts and halftime, it usually goes a little bit longer, but essentially the total game time is 60 minutes. The sports season matters, whether it's the off season, the preseason, the in season, or the postseason. For this case study, we are in competition in season. Why all this matters? Being in season means less time in the weight room, and the brunt of the focus is on the field. The great part about speed and agility programming is it is not as taxing as strength training and can be implemented at football practice. Considering we are in season, training will be adjusted to 1 to 3 days per week based on the response of the team. Are they fatigued? Do they need to recover more? Or are they rested well? They can take on a little bit more. Please understand that these are recommendations as there are many more options of exercises to choose from. A drill for acceleration, getting that start, push-ups to sprint, roughly 10 yards. Resisted sprints can also increase speed, utilizing a band and a partner, working on knee drives and thigh pop, not allowing the resistance to break your form, and being efficient in movement pattern. Uphill sprints, roughly 60 yards. Also to continue working on foot strike, mid-foot strike at that underneath the hip. A sled is a great way to work on power and explosiveness, specifically for linemen, utilizing the tank backwards and forward with resistance. The mirror drill is great for reacting to the opponent's movement, and of course, change of direction. mixing in some sand training to work on some resistance and speed and agility.
Forward and backwards. Take our time in our transitions. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. All right, and I'm got right in your way. Sorry. Good. Forward and backwards. Good. Think about this. We're gonna move laterally, right? Like our regular lateral shuffle. However, we're gonna imagine there's a line in front of us, and we're gonna step in front of the line, forward, forward. Then we're gonna step back, back behind the line. So that 10-foot line, we're gonna go in front, and back, in front, back, and back. Like we're stepping in tires, okay? In, out, out. Every time going, and once we get to the end of that line, then we'll start going back the other direction. We got that, team? All right, 3, 2, 1, here we go. The Michael Jackson song is on. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Hey! Great.
3-cone drill, in and out. And you don't have to have just 3 cones. You can do 4, you can do 5. The key is to be very quick, moving in and out. A variation of this movement is performing it on the beach. The zigzag drill, working in different directions, adjusting. This is good for all the football players, specifically quarterbacks. If I were to choose another sport, the other case study would be the high school boys soccer team. Now, football and soccer essentially use the same energy systems, both phosphagen and then moderate and glycolytic systems. They're also utilizing the same field dimensions. One of the main differences here is the timing of season and the fact that it's high school soccer athletes in comparison to college football players, meaning the maturity level of the collegiate athletes are greater. They're building upon their foundation, and the youth athletes are building their foundation in training. Another difference is the restrictions in collegiate football as through the NCAA and timing of practice allotted, timing of in the weight room allotted, timing of gameplay. There has to be a given amount of rest as well as time in the classroom. Additionally, given that it is the preseason for the high school boys soccer team, 3 to 4 days of training outside of soccer practice are recommended. Additional drills to include for soccer are some figure eights, either forward and backwards or lateral movements, in addition to some shuttles, 300-yard shuttles, and some quick feet movements at the beach.
Sand, how about that? In here. Quick sand. In place. In place. 3, 2, 1, let's get it. And we have a water break. Look out. Make them feet leave the ground a little bit. Yes.